Hello, this is a Mercenary Spotlight on Ron. Ron is a 3-star rarity warrior. He's a clone made in Alcetine's lab but was eventually freed from his influence where he suffered amnesia afterwards. He became a pupil of a mercenary where he learned fighting techniques and carried his master's mantra that money rules the world. Ron being a clone kinda makes sense considering anyone who's ever rolled in this game likely encountered many copies of Ron. Ron's companion is Almoo. She's a wandering assassin. Reading her story, she's pretty much an idiot. She takes up assassination jobs without thinking about who she is killing, so she ends up changing her mind during the mission. During a job, she ends up falling in love with Ron, but Ron's not having any of it, which I completely understand. I'll briefly go over Ron's skills, gameplay style, and provide some of my opinions on him. I won't be going over the details of his skills, but just the general parts of it. I'll link to Brave My Encyclopedia in the video description where you can easily read on his stats and skill values. Ron's first skill is Permanent HP Boost. Before battle, Ron gains a permanent stat enhancement and his HP is increased based on his attack value. Permanent skills cannot be removed, hence why it's called permanent. Ron's second skill is Taunt. After normal attack, Ron gains a taunt for a set amount of turns. At +9 and above, this taunt also comes with incoming damage reduction. Ron's awakening skill is Vital Point Counter. This is Ron's unique reflective counter. Ron gains his reflective counter after his normal attack and it lasts for a set amount of turns. When it's active, Ron will counter attack with fixed additional damage to any enemy warriors who hit him. The damage is based on his attack stat. Ron also gains stats weakening immunity after normal attack as well. Ron is primarily a taunt tank with focus on taking down enemy warriors who attack him. Ron's HP is fairly impressive thanks to his base HP stat line combined with his first skill. The incoming damage reduction of his taunt can also help with his survivability, but many units in Novice Arena can do quite a bit of damage to where Ron may not be able to survive. Ron's also unique in that he's the only warrior in the game that has his own taunt skill. Ron's goal isn't to actually hold off hordes of enemies, but rather to gain a lot of value by trading his life for a more valuable warrior on the enemy team. Fixed damage is somewhat of a rarity in Novice Arena, and being able to inflict that is very powerful. Ron's attack stat is actually quite good, and he can take out many other warriors if they don't have a lot of HP. Trading Ron for an enemy 4-star such as Karen or Deka is already quite worth it, and if he somehow lives to take down more warriors, then that's just insane value. Ron can also be a gimmicky taunt tank in Del's hidden compositions in regular arena, but remember that Ron is a 3-star and ultimately will show a lot of limitations if he's flexed beyond his comfort zone. When it comes to runes, 1 flat attack and 1% attack rune is the way to go with Ron. Attack translates to max HP and more powerful counter, so ideally Ron wants to run attack and he doesn't want to utilize any other rune. I'll go over what Ron counters. Ron is designed to eliminate warriors who hit him that do not have a lot of HP. Camilla, Nia, Brissa, Deka, Yunring, Karen, and other Rons. Ron's fairly high base attack also makes his normal attack sting quite a bit, and he can potentially take out squishy units like Maria, Deka, Morgana, and whatnot. It's kind of a stretch if he will ever be able to hit those units in a form, however. Under the really specific condition that an enemy is no longer running Delsa or Vanaka, or if he eliminated those supports during the attack, Ron can actually take out many 5-star units with his counter, such as Dalvi, Susera, Eden, Alec, and Angelica. Granted, he may need some attack buffs to reach the higher HP threshold of some of those units. I'll go over some Ron counters now. Anything with the ability to remove reflective counters will greatly reduce any threat that Ron has. Alchi is one of the best units for this purpose. Einstein also works as well. Varian is also unique in that her post-rework state she can remove taunts and steal Ron's counter for herself. Xenon is a warrior, but his incredibly high HP allows him to safely attack Ron without dying. His DOT will also quickly dispatch of Ron. Morgana is a mage and does not have to worry about Ron's counter, and she also catches out on more damage on him. She also has a DOT, which also helps. Maria is another mage who could just kill Ron without worrying about his counter. Speaking of DOTs, debuffs in general are great ways to handle Ron. DOTs from Ian, shock from Isla is also good in disabling Ron so that he cannot even attack to get started. Ebony's Nullifier is also good at disabling Ron as well. Exile and Belisir can potentially handle him as well because he has to play around their mechanics and he's vulnerable to them. So some synergies with Ron. Ron synergizes well in most team comps and he's more of a counter to warriors. Being a 3-star, he could be flexed in most Novice Arena teams and is a good alternative to Carlson. Ron also synergizes well in Delta compositions if you need a taunting warrior, but remember that he is a 3-star and he will not seem amazing. Okay, so for my opinion, Ron is an update I did not see coming. Ron was actually used prior to this update as an alternative to Carlson whenever Carlson was banned in Novice Arena. Some also used Ron in Delta hidden compositions, and it wasn't very spectacular. This update brings a much appreciated change to Ron while keeping most of his gameplay integrity intact. He's still the only warrior with taunt currently and does a pretty damn good job of it. His ability to deal fixed damage to warriors is a really nice change in Novice Arena, which heavily favors compositions involving warriors. This may shift the meta slightly to favor defenders and mages again, or at the very least, people have to put more consideration on how they want to approach with their offensive forms. Ron is designed with PvP in mind and excels in Novice Arena the most. He can be good in PvE, but there are usually better substitutes. So the question begs, should you build Ron? And my answer doesn't really matter. Ron being a 3-star means that you're going to have him in your inventory whether you like it or not, and in this case, it's a blessing. If you play the game for a bit, you likely have him, and his companion will easily max out in no time. Overall, it is a nice thing, because Ron is very nice. I mean, look at that shit-eating grin. He knows how good he is now. The only main decision is whether or not you want to plus 15 him by maxing out his soul gears, and truth be told, you really don't need him at plus 15. The double duration of his reflective counter is nice, but it's not very game changing. It allows you to potentially get more value of Ron in the case that he survives his first attack that comes at him. If you play Novice Arena actively, consider building him to plus 15, but if not, just slow build his soul gears over time. Overall, when I first saw Ron get his official splash art, I was just very happy. He really deserved it. Him getting a companion a few patches later is just really good fortune. The dude works hard. He earned it. Smile on, Ron. Smile. Thanks for watching my Ron Mercenary Spotlight. I know I haven't been active on this game as I used to be, but it's mostly with just other interests in line. I still like Brave 9, but if there's a slowdown in videos, just know that it's because of real life and other pursuits. Thanks for understanding, and laters.